Hello, my name is Taka. Nice to meet you. Can I ask your name?
Nice to meet you.
Teacher Fateh, where are you from?
I'm originally from Iran, but I was living in UAE for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Now, most of my life I have spent it in UAE actually.
Oh,
yes.
wow. I'm interested in SDGs. There's like 1 to 17th issue in this SDGs. Can you pick one issue and then we can talk about that?
Yes, why not? So I picked the first one, which is no poverty. Is it okay for you?
Yes, number 1, no poverty.
Yeah, no poverty, yeah.
Do you have this kind of issue in UAE for this no poverty?
If you're talking about UAE, actually
Yes.
UAE is a rich country actually.
Yes.
It's an oil producing country
Yes.
and we don't have such issue in UAE, by the way, but
Yes.
I picked topic because this is an issue of concern all over the earth, not only in one place.
Oh.
But in UAE, most of the people are living comfortably without any issue. But the thing is that in UAE there is a mixed culture.
Yes.
Most of the people there are foreigners coming from other countries.
Okay.
And they live there for a long time. They are working in different professions.
Yes.
They have certain fixed amount of salary every month. There is some difference between the local people there, who are living very in prosperity.
Yes.
But the foreigners who are coming to work, their standard of living is not that much. It's a little bit less.
Okay.
But anyway, they are living comfortably. They don't have any specific issues.
In UAE, there's no poor people. Usually, they live over the poverty line.
Yes, you can say that. Yes, the highest percentage of the people are living comfortably without any issues of poverty. Yeah.
From my knowledge, UAE is like a really kind of the rich country, and then I see like a very high building or like a very nice view of the ocean, and then there's a desert, but lots of people have a camel, and then they do some a desert walking or have a buggy for the car, and then they play around with the buggy. So for my image, there's no poverty people.
Yeah, actually UAE is a new country, you can say. It was established in 1971.
Okay.
And gaining its independence, and it consists of 7 emirates actually. 7 emirates means 7 provinces, you can say.
Yes.
And in 1971 it became one country, and it was called United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
And the capital city is Abu Dhabi, and it's the richest emirate in UAE.
Yes.
But the most important and the famous, you can say, commercial center and the hub of the businesses, Dubai actually.
Yes.
And,
Dubai.
so Dubai is very famous all over the world. And many people come there to establish their offices. But it has changed dramatically since from the beginning of its establishment of this country.
Okay.
So everything has changed very much. So you cannot distinguish between the past of UAE and the present.
Okay.
So there are many high-rise buildings, shopping centers, and also the government has started to provide many facilities and relief to their local people. And for example, most of the local people, they are provided with houses, free houses from the government.
Oh, from the government?
And yes, the government provides them with houses. Yes, most of them. So it's very, for the local people, it's very comfortable for them. They live very comfortably without any issues. Even the officials in UAE started to bring new technological services to the country. For example, they are starting to draw the water from the sea, and there is a facility to desalinate the water and use them for agriculture. It has been a very great development in the local agriculture.
Yes.
Because due to the weather in UAE, which is the desert weather, you could not cultivate many products.
Okay.
But they started to change it technologically.
Oh, wow.
So by technology, everything has been changed.
Yes.
So the development is going on.
So development is going on more.
Yeah, very fast.
Wow.
And I expect that it will be one of the greatest countries in the Middle East.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Teacher Fateh, you said you live long in UAE. When did you came in UAE? How old were you?
I was born there, by the way.
Oh, really? You born there?
Yes, I was born there. And because my parents migrated to UAE a long time ago.
Okay.
So I was born there, and I finished my school studies there.
Yes. So,
then,
teacher Fadeh, you born in UAE. So in that
Yeah.
time, the UAE was already like a rich country, or before it was not that rich country, but it's get developed, and then now it's a rich country.
Yes, that time it was not a rich country. It was a
really?
poor country, because till that time the oil was not explored yet.
Yes. Okay.
And also the emirates were not established yet. So every emirate was like an independent province. It's not one country.
Okay.
So they had their primitive ways of living. They depended mostly on the sea.
Yes.
They're going to fishing, and also very few agricultural products.
Yes.
Actually, mostly even the sweet water
Yes.
and the drinking water was imported from the adjacent countries, like from Iran or from
really?
Iraq.
So
So
they
it was
couldn't
very
get
difficult
like a
situation.
fresh water to drink. They had
Yes,
to import
yeah.
the water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
okay.
or sometimes it was extracted from the wells. Some
Yes.
wells were there, but also from the adjacent countries.
Mhm.
So it was a very primitive style of living. There was no electricity,
Yes.
so no sufficient water.
Oh,
So that time
wow.
it was very difficult for people.
So that was
Okay,
like
1953. When my father came first to UAE,
Yes.
it was 1953, and then I was born in 1956, by the way.
Oh, okay. So 1956, teacher Fadeh, you born, and then you grew up at UAE. But in that time, UAE didn't have the oil business, so they
Yes.
had to get maybe the fish from the sea, and then they had some ugly culture, but it was not the rich country.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. So how did it begin to be a rich country?
So after exploring the oil, actually, it
Yes.
started in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
So it started to develop very fast. I mean, because they started to have this revenue from the oil. People from different countries also started to come to UAE to work, because they have started to build the country from the beginning.
Yes.
High-rise building
So-
and many facilities, services, and to the locals. Development started very fast.
Yes. Do you remember how old were you that time?
Yes, well, I remember that I was going to school. When I was started going to school, I remember that I used to go there walking on the sand.
Yes.
On the sand.
Oh, walking on the sand.
Yes,
Oh,
until I
wow.
could reach, because there was no other facilities.
Yes.
It was very difficult for the people, because all the people had the same condition. Approximately everybody has the same level of condition.
Okay.
So we did not feel any discrimination between different people. So
Yes.
all had the same standard of living.
So no rich people, no poor people. Everybody has kind of standard living.
Yes.
Oh,
There were not
okay.
such a thing as very rich and very poor. No.
Oh, okay.
Almost they were on the same standard of living. Well, I started from when I was 6 or 7 years old. Six years old, I started to go to the school.
Okay. So
That's the
after
history
you went to university, and then you keep studying at UAE, and maybe
Yeah,
in that time
after
you start making the infrastructure, or making a building, and then
Yes.
you see the country is getting rich.
Yes.
Mm.
So in 1975, actually, I joined the Kuwait University.
Oh,
I
wow.
went to Kuwait, and then I was graduated in 1980, and I came back again to UAE.
Yes.
Worked most of my life in UAE
Yes.
until 2017. Actually.
Yes.
2017.
So you had a very long time in UAE, and then you saw the beginning when the UAE was not that rich, but you saw all the development to become a rich country.
Exactly. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So it was a very different. You see, you said you're walking at the sand when you go to school, maybe 50 years ago. But now there's lots of highway, lots of road, and then lots of big building.
Yeah, I tell you some memory about my childhood. In
Yes.
the building in which we were living.
Yes.
Due to there was no electricity at all that time.
Oh, really? No
So
electricity?
in order to, and of course, in summertime it's very hot.
Yes.
So at the daytime,
Yes.
there are some buildings which is built in such a way that there is some wind tower built on top of that buildings. Wind tower is in such a way is designed to capture the air floor
Oh.
from the top of the building and
Yes.
take it down.
Okay.
Take it down to the interior of the house.
Yes.
And with this method, the interior of the house was ventilated with the fresh air.
Okay.
So this was how we live. I mean, it was a natural air conditioner, you can say.
Okay, so it's like the air goes from the top of the building and it goes down, so you can have like a fresh air. In that time, there was no like electricity air conditioner, so it was like a nature, like an air conditioner.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Wow. Maybe because UAE is very hot country, so maybe they think about and then they build that kind of building.
Yes, yes. It was called the wind tower, wind tower.
Oh, wind tower.
Oh, yeah, wind tower. That's what was the structure which was used at the old time to capture the wind and take it into the interior of the house.
Yes. But now maybe it's all the air conditioner because they have electricity, so you cannot see the wind tower anymore.
Yes, these days without air conditioner in UAE, it is very difficult to survive.
Thank you for your interesting story.
Thank
it was
you.
very
You're welcome.
interesting.
Welcome. It was nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing the story. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
最後まで動画を見ていただいてありがとうございます。この動画がいいなと思ったら高評価をお願いします。チャンネル登録もしてくれると嬉しいです。ご意見やご感想はコメント欄に書いてください。それではまた次回の動画でお会いしましょう。バイバーイ。